Great job today. Hey, brother.
He gonna get real present. The meeting come to order. Clerk call the roll.
Mr. Green?
Here.
Mr. Lyda?
Here.
Animal Matter?
Here.
Mr. Reed?
Here.
Mr. Skelton?
Here.
Mr. Smith?
Here.
Mr. Wright?
Here. We can stand for the invocation.
Let us pray. Lord, we thank you for this day and for our blessings too numerous to count. For the young people here tonight who are being honored for their hard work, talent, and character, we pray that they will continue on this path and encourage other young people to do the same. We pray for our parents, students, and teachers as the school year comes to a close, that they will have a safe and restful summer break. We ask your wisdom and guidance daily upon this mayor and council as they continue to lead this city forward. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have several proclamations tonight. I asked the mayor to help us. Mayor, if you'd have a seat, he had some surgery last week, and we don't need to call paramedics tonight.
Well, we got some here.
Uh, first proclamation is Mike Slides, Commissioner of the SEC, Mr. Walker.
Mr. President, I understand that Mr. Slive
tomorrow at the SEC
is
tournament.
not going to be here tonight. I'll give you a synopsis. I understand to be presented publicly tomorrow. But Mike Slive was named the Commissioner of the Southeastern Conference on July the 2nd, 2002. He's the 7th commissioner since the conference was established in 1933. And on his watch, 2 new institutions were added. He's not only been the commissioner of the Southeastern Conference, he's been a founding commissioner of 2 other conferences. He's been a director of athletics. He's been the founder of a law firm which has assisted NCAA institution in compliance matters. He's had a number of leadership roles in committees throughout his career. He's helped craft the new football playoff. This is the 18th year that the Southeastern Conference baseball tournament has been played, and he and his staff have worked closely with the city of Hoover to make this one of the best tournaments in the nation. And the proclamation offers sincere appreciation to Commissioner Slive for the many years of service. This will be his last time to be the commissioner over this particular tournament here at Hoover. And of course, it's signed by Mayor Ivy and executed also by President Wright.
Let me point out David Faulkner, one of our newest representatives. State House is here in the back. David, we're glad to have you here tonight. Thank you. Glad to be here. So far, we like you. Next proclamation for the HHS Girls Indoor Track Team State Championship. If they would come up and stand with the mayor. Kind of blank or we need one on the other side. Mr. Walker, if you would.
Whereas on Saturday, February 7th, 2015, the Hoover High School Girls Indoor Track Team won the 2015 7A Alabama High School Athletics Association State Indoor Track Championship at the Birmingham Crossplex. And whereas this exceptional group of athletes compiled a score of 123.5 points over the second place team, Mountain Brook scored a total of 68 points. And whereas this team has performed in an outstanding manner throughout the year with another recent win at the MLK Indoor Track Classic on January 19, 2015. And whereas this team competed in the state indoor track competition with excellent winning times in the 4x200 meter relay at a time of 1 minute 42 seconds, 42.87 seconds, with Caitlin Little, Kyla Horn, Gabriel Morris, and Brittany Humphrey. By 400 meter relay with a time of 4 minutes, 1.91 seconds, with Camilla Knight, Ayana Eason, Caitlin Little, and Michelle Nikodu. And the 4x800 meter relay with a time of 9 minutes, 31.97 seconds, with Allie Barnett, Presley Weems, Caitlin Camper, and Sydney Steele. And whereas there were several individual accomplishments at the state meet to include a first place finish in the 400 meter run by Sydney Steele with a time of 58.63 seconds, a first place finish in the 800 meter run by Presley Weems with a time of 2 minutes 15.95 seconds, a first place finish in the 60 meter hurdles by Brittany Humphrey, 8.74 seconds, and a second place finish in the 60 meter hurdles by Caitlin Little, 8.76 was her time. Now, therefore, I, Gary Ivey, Mayor of the City of Hoover, on behalf of the Hoover City Council and the citizens of Hoover, hereby congratulate the Hoover High School girls indoor track team and head coach Devon Hine and assistant coaches Erica Russ, Billy Lamb, Aiden Leckenby, Leslie Pear, Carl Floyd, Lori McCombs, Meredith Maddox, and Bridget Angsted for an outstanding year and for winning the 2015 7A Alabama High School Athletic Association State Indoor Track Championship. Be it further proclaimed that the clerk of the City of Hoover is hereby authorized and directed to transmit an appropriate copy of this resolution to Coach Hine on behalf of the team, and it is executed by Mayor Ivey and also by Council President Wright.
Next proclamation is the Hoover High School Boys and Girls Outdoor Track Team State Championship. Y'all flank the mayor.
Girls and boys.
Boys and girls outdoor. Mr. Walter.
Whereas on Saturday, May 2nd, 2015, the Hoover High School Boys and Girls Track and Field Teams won the 2015 7A Alabama High School Athletic Association State Track and Field Championships in Gulf Shores. And whereas in their winning effort, the members of both teams displayed true character, intense drive, focus, and a competitive spirit that resulted in the Hoover High School girls team finishing in first place with a score of 166.75 over second place Mountain Brook with a score of 69.75, and the Hoover High School boys won first place finish scoring 131.33 over second place Auburn scoring 121.50. And whereas individual team members excelled with state champion winning performances in the following events for the girls team: in the 100 meters, Caitlin Little had 11.97. In the 200 meters, Caitlin Little had a 24.85. In the 800 meter, Presley Weems had 2 minutes 12.53 seconds. In the 100 meter hurdles, Brittany Humphrey had 13.74. And the 300 meter hurdles, Brittany Humphrey had 42.46. The individual state champion wins for the boys team include shot put, Christian Bell with a 52 feet 10 inches, triple jump with Bradwick Shaw, 47 feet 1 3/4 inches, and 400 meters Joshua Hall, 48.22 seconds. And whereas the outstanding athleticism of the Hoover girls garnered additional state champion wins in the relay events, the 4x100 relay with 48.03 seconds, with team members Camilla Knight, Jaron Russell, Ayana Eason, and Caitlin Little. The 4x400 relay, 3 minutes 55 seconds, 55.65 seconds, with team members Camilla Knight, Gabriel Morris, Ayana Eason, and Sydney Steele, and the 4x800 relay with a time of 9.23.42 seconds. I'm sorry, that was 9 minutes 23.42 seconds. With team members Allie Barnett, Presley Weems, Caitlin Camper, and Sydney Steele. Now therefore, I, Gary Ivey, Mayor of the City of Hoover, on behalf of the Hoover City Council and the citizens of Hoover, hereby congratulate the Hoover High School girls and Hoover High School boys track and field teams, and head coach Devin Hine and assistant coaches Erica Russ, Billy Lamb, Eden Leckenby, Leslie Pear, Carl Floyd, Gabe Rodriguez, Meredith Maddox, and Bridget Angston for an outstanding year winning the 2015 7A Alabama High School Athletic Association State Track and Field Championship. Be it further proclaimed that the clerk of the City of Hoover is hereby authorized and directed to transmit an appropriate copy of this resolution to Coach Hine on behalf of the team, adopted on the 18th day of May this year, and is signed by Mayor Ivey as well as Council President Wright.
Next proclamation, high school football team. Coach Nicholas has to get ready for that stadium tonight, so Mr. Walter, if you would.
Whereas the Hoover High School football team won the Alabama High School Athletic Association 7A football championship on December 3, 2014 in Auburn at Jordan Hare Stadium. Whereas the Hoover High School football team won the first ever Class 7A state championship with a final score of 35-21 over Prattville High School. And whereas the Hoover High football team has won their third straight state championship and a total of 11 state championships in school history. And whereas the Hoover Bucks' final record for the year is 12-2, finishing the year with 12 consecutive victories. And whereas this Hoover High football team never lost sight of their goals, and with their hard work and determination overcame the 2 early losses of the season, believing in their abilities and proving themselves as a championship caliber team. And whereas several outstanding performances contributed to the win over Prattville, with game MVP honors going to Marcus Webb, who ran 22 times, 152 yards and a touchdown. And whereas recognition and appreciation is due, pardon me, for the hardworking and dedicated coaching and support staff led by head coach Josh Nibley. Now therefore be it hereby proclaimed by Mayor Gary Ivey on behalf of the City Council and the citizens of the city of Hoover, Alabama, and regular meeting duly assembled, a quorum being present, that Hoover High School Principal Don Hewlin, Athletic Director Andy Urban, and Assistant Athletic Director Lisa Bridgman, Head Coach Josh Nibley, and the entire football organization be congratulated and commended for winning the 2015 Alabama High School Athletic Association State 7A Football Championship, approved on the 18th day of May of this year, signed by Mayor Ivey as well as Council President Wright.
Next, we have proclamation of the boys' basketball team sitting here on the front row. You can come up and flank them, Mayor. Mr. Walter.
Whereas the Hoover High School boys basketball team won the Alabama High School Athletic Association 7A basketball championship on Saturday, February 28, 2015 in Birmingham. And whereas the Hoover High School boys basketball team won its first state championship in school history with a final score of 50-43 over Mountain Brook High School. And whereas Hoover finished their season with a record of 27-9. And whereas this team consists of an outstanding group of talented athletes with senior team members Christian Bell, Sam Bowman, Shaquille Bracey, Maurice Brown, Matthew Calhoun, Calhoun, Austin Cherry, Dylan Smith, and Leonard Wood. Junior team members, Wes Banks, Kevy Eason, and Andrew Strickland, and sophomore team members, Brett DeFore, Matthew Rickman, and Tavian Roundtree. And whereas recognition and appreciation is due for the hardworking and dedicated coaching and support staff, head coach Charles Burkett, assistant coaches Trent Hosmer, Trey Matlock, Marvin Smoot, and Scott Ware, manager Hub Roberts, and scorekeeper Drew Troy. Now therefore be it hereby proclaimed by Mayor Gary Ivey on behalf of the City Council and the citizens of the city of Hoover, Alabama, and regular meeting duly assembled, a quorum being present, that Hoover High School Principal Don Hewlin, Athletic Director Andy Urban, and Assistant Athletic Director Lisa Bridgman, Head Coach Charles Burkett, and the entire boys basketball organization be congratulated and commended for winning the 2015 Alabama High School Athletic Association Boys Basketball State 7A Championship, adopted on this, the 18th day of May of this year, signed by Mayor Ivey as well as Council President Wright.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. One more, 1, 2, 3.
Thank you. We have the Hoover High School girls golf team state championship. There they come. Y'all flag the mayor. Mr. Walter, if you would.
Whereas on Tuesday, May 12, 2015, the Hoover High School girls golf team won the Alabama High School Athletic Association's Class 7A Girls Golf State Championship at Magnolia Grove, Mobile. And whereas the Hoover High School girls golf team won the state championship with a final score of 445, 6 strokes better than the second place finisher Huntsville. And whereas the Hoover Ladybugs golf team played exceptionally throughout the 2-day tournament and were successful in their quest to repeat as state champions. And whereas the Hoover High girls golf team completed the tournament with the individual scores of 144, Michael O'Berry, 145, Julie Baker, 156, Elizabeth Moultrie, and 165, Carson McKee. And whereas recognition and appreciation is due for the dedicated coaching staff, Lori Elgin and Carol Stein. Now therefore be it hereby proclaimed by Mayor Gary Ivey on behalf of the City Council and the citizens of the city of Hoover, Alabama, a regular meeting duly assembled, a quorum being present, that Hoover High School Principal Don Hewlin, Athletic Director Andy Urban, and Assistant Athletic Director Lisa Bridgman, Coach Lori Elgin, Coach Carol Steiner, and the entire girls golf organization be congratulated and commended for winning the 2015 Alabama High School Athletic Association State 7A Girls Golf Championship, adopted this the 18th day of May of this year, signed by Mayor Ivey as well as Council President Wright.
You want to come down and get a picture too?
Y'all come down closer. Thank y'all.
Who's playing? Somebody got playing.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
We'll ask Roberta Atkinson to come down. She's got a report for us.
Roberta Atkinson, the Hoover Beautification Board, 314 Shakespeare Road. This year we had a record number of schools participating in our Arbor Day school plantings and essay contest, culminating with a citywide Arbor Day celebration at Aldridge Gardens on March the 6th. We have a booklet put together by Beautification Board member Betty Daigle that we're going to present to each council member, Alan Pate, and the mayor. And my assistant, Sarah Perry, who's part of the Beautification Board, will come and help do that.
Thank you.
Just get y'all up there.
Frank the mayor, and Frank the mayor and his mayoral seat.
Why don't you just go over there?
That's all right, I'll go. Just slow. Just slow.
For our education board scrapbook. Two.
Thank y'all.
One thing I forgot to say, is Colin Connor, our forester, was at every tree planting with his Arbor Day pledge, teaching those children how to plant a tree. And we really thank him.
Councilman Green, I think you have a,
Yes, I do. Rick wants actually, Kyle Puckville, Vaughn Pratt, and Paul Campbell. I'd like to move that they be reappointed to the Board of Zoning Adjustments. Done a great job. Second.
motion is second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay, they were so reappointed. Councilman Reeves, I understand you have an appointment.
Yes, sir. Right. I'd like to reappoint Mr. Wayne Dutt to the Jefferson County Intellectual and Development Disabilities Authority. This would be retroactive to April the 1st, 2015.
Second.
Motion is second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
So appointed. Approval of the minutes, each of you received a copy. If so, I'd take a motion for the May 4th regular meeting and the May 14th work session.
Mr. President, I would move that both sets of minutes be approved as presented. Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
So approved. Resolution 526315, Mr. Walker.
This resolution authorizes the mayor to execute a wastewater treatment agreement with Living Water Utilities LLC to provide water sewage treatment services for Living Water's Caldwell Mill sewage collection system in the form attached to the resolution. These sewage treatment services will be provided through the city's Inverness wastewater treatment plant.
Mr. President, I would move for approval of resolution 5263-15. Second.
Motion second, any discussion from the council? Any from the audience? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Resolution passes. Resolution 526415, Mr. Walker.
This resolution authorizes the mayor to execute a supplement to its existing application service provider agreement with SunGuard Public Sector, Inc. to provide for certain professional service fees and monthly access fees as described in the supplement.
Mr. President, I would move for approval of resolution 5264-15. Second.
Motion second, discussion from the council. Discussion from the audience. Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Resolution passes. Resolution 526515, Mr. Walker.
Excuse me. This resolution authorizes the mayor to execute two technical service support agreements in the forms attached to the resolution. These agreements will provide service and support for the city's LifePack defibrillator monitor devices.
Mr. President, I would move for approval of resolution 5265-15. Second.
Motion is second, discussion from the council. Discussion from the audience. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Resolution passes. Resolution 526615, Mr. Walker.
This resolution authorizes the mayor to execute a grant compliance agreement for the Heritage Program with the Fireman's Fund Insurance Company in the form attached to the resolution. This agreement will set out the conditions for acceptance and use of these grant funds by the city's fire department.
Mr. President, I would move for approval of resolution 5266-15. Second.
Motion is second, discussion from the council.
Mr. Wright, at working session, I asked Robert Yeager city did any work with Griff Stevens and Williams, and he said not to his knowledge. Do we know that for a fact?
That's gonna be Edward. I do not know.
Maybe,
I don't know of anything with it.
They're directing giving us money, so we're for them.
well, I am also, but I wanna know why they're giving us the money.
They're not fire funded.
Well, firemen, yeah, okay. Sorry. Fireman funds giving it through them.
I think they're, the way I understand it, they're just a conduit for Fireman's Fund, give money.
They're an agent.
Just to make it clear. Thank you.
Any further discussion? Any discussion from the audience? All in favor say aye. Opposed, nay. Resolution passes. Have a public hearing, consider the request of Me, You, and a Pizza LLC doing business with Uncle Leo's Pizza Joint for conditional use approval. Allow the sale of retail beer on or off premises and retail wine on or off premises at Uncle Leo's Pizza Joint to be located at 210 Duck Pepper Boulevard, Suite 100, Fairleigh Branch. The property's owner is property zone C2 Community Business District. Need a motion.
Mr. President, I move for approval of the conditional use.
Second.
Motion second, discussion from the council. Discussion from the audience. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes. I need an ABC application for it.
Mr. President, move for approval of the application.
Second.
Motion second, any discussion from the council? Any from the audience? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Application is approved. Public hearing, consider the request of Goslin Dibb for conditional use approval to allow the sale of restaurant retail liquor at Cedars Grill located at 1870 Chase Drive, Suite 160. Mr. Dibb is property owner and property zone PC Plan Commercial.
Mr. President, move for approval of the conditional use.
Second.
A motion second, any discussion from the council? Any from the audience? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes. Give ABC application for it.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion second, discussion from the council? Any from the audience? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Approved. Public hearing, consider the request of SB Development Corporation to present Signature Homes for conditional use approval for common area park to be located in Magnolia Grove, Phase 1 on lot CA-4 at 1100 Magnolia Run. The property is owned by SB Development Corporation, doing business with Signature Homes, is on PUD PR1 Plan Single Family. Need a motion?
Mr. President, I move for approval of the conditional use.
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion from the council?
Mr. President, Mr. Waldrop, I had inquired on Thursday because I have a lot under contract in that subdivision. Would there be any reason I need to abstain?
No. This is, the reason I say that is because this will affect you just like any other homeowners out there. This is not something that will, if there's a benefit, this one of your, just to your benefit, but to everyone's benefit.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. President, this is my understanding, Tim, there's sidewalks throughout this particular subdivision.
That's correct.
On one side of the street, isn't it? On one side. Thank you.
Further discussion from the council? Any from the audience? Anyone speak opposed to it? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Granted, motion approved. Set a public hearing for Monday, June 15th at 6 o'clock. Consider the following. City of Hoover is requesting to rezone recently annexed property from Griffith County R1 to Hoover R1 located at 2929 Monte Fiesta Drive and 1701 Kessler Drive. So we have the first reading of ordinance number 1522-5774.
Mr. President, this ordinance amends the zoning map of the city of Hoover to zone the properties of the two business drive that are located at 2929 Monte Fiesta Drive and 1701 Kessler Drive as R1 single family district.
Thank you, Mr. Waldron. Payment of bills, Mr. Smith.
Mr. President, I've reviewed the bills and recommend they be paid in full as presented.
Second.
Motion second, any discussion from the council? Any from the audience? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Please pay the bills. Let's pass. Comments from the council?
Mr. President, on Thursday evening, Admiral Matter brought to the attention that some of the ABC documents that are coming to us really don't have much information as to places on the Secretary of State's website that says not provided. Have you been able to talk to the state since Thursday to determine how we can be able to answer this?
Yes, and I did speak with Captain Batter. The ABC board does a very thorough search and require a lot of paperwork, one of which would be all of the LLC members. And they already do provide that to us. The ABC application, the front page has 3 lines. Most of the time you only see one person there. If that's the case, it's a sole member. If it's a third person there, then they said look for, there may be more, but they should send us a list attached to that. That if ever a time we need it, we can call it and get it from them.
I was going to help Councilman Green here. Gene, we went through it quite thoroughly with Margie and the ABC board. I'm very satisfied that they do a good background check on it. Police department does also. And they just don't provide us with information, but it's there. And they've done their due diligence on these individuals.
Thanks.
Some comments from the council.
Mr. President, you heard anything about any baseball this week?
Should be some starting tomorrow at 9:30. Alabama plays Ole Miss.
Yeah, right.
How your cats doing?
We're doing great.
I understand there was a raccoon attack at your house last night.
When does Auburn play?
Late.
4:30.
4:30
You want to update us on that raccoon attack at your house?
I'll do that next meeting, Mr. President.
We'll have the SEC, and we're looking forward to that. Any other comments from the council? Hearing none from the council. The audience? Mr. Polk?
Mr. Light, if you'll share that with members of the council. Gentlemen, Mr. Light is passing out a copy of a sheet that was almost a worksheet. I'm a retired teacher, excuse me. There's no work on this. Don't worry, man. This is not a test. This is just a worksheet. By the way, I'm Dan Fulton. I'm at 1440 Alfred Avenue. I'm sorry. Excuse me. But this was distributed at the Board of Education meeting last Monday, and it's a program, the Hoover Backpack Program, to help students who do not have enough food at home. And it gives them a food packet that they put in their backpack. This is done discreetly. It's coordinated through the Community Food Bank of Central Alabama. And there's a website that's been set up called hooverhelps.org, hooverhelps.org, that gives all the links, all the various sources, a link to the Community Food Bank. And it's an effort where they're collecting donations and food for these backpacks. Now, a few years ago, I was serving as president of the Birmingham Retired Educators Association, and we started this project. We collect food today. In Jefferson County, retired teachers do the same. They specialize on the backpacks. It's a very worthy endeavor. And there are children in Hoover who are hungry. And this is not a problem that we can fail to ignore. And I know the city of Hoover does some charitable giving, and so I would like them to consider this when you do select various groups to support, that you might consider this as one of those projects that you might want to maybe put some city funds toward helping this particular effort. It's very worthy. Again, the website is hooverhelps.org, and a list of all the various churches and groups and the Community Food Bank. And I'm sure one of the representatives, maybe from River Chase United Methodist Church or from Hoover Helps Group or even the Community Food Bank, will be glad to come in sometime and give you the details of the program. Also, I wanted to request that the city of Hoover consider a financial pledge to the UAB football program. Now, I said request, a consideration of this, because I don't know, what is possible. I received a message from Representative Jack Williams this afternoon, and he said this would be helpful in the effort if Hoover did this. The city of Birmingham has also already pledged $2.5 million. I gather it's $500,000 per year for the next 5 years. So if the city of Hoover could manage to do some kind of pledge, I think that would be very worthwhile. As to the benefits of UAB football to Hoover, of course, many of the athletes that we had here this evening participate in UAB. We use coaches, their camps that involve UAB. UAB football is very important to the city of Hoover, at Hoover High School in Spain Park, and there are opportunities for scholarships at UAB. If we had a football player who wanted to play football and maybe he wanted to go into dentistry, the only dental school in Alabama is at UAB. So they don't have an opportunity to get a scholarship here and then maybe go on to dental school. And for the hospitality industry, we bring a lot of people in through the football and the various sports. If we lose the football, we probably will lose also participation in Conference USA, which is a major conference. It's not the Southeastern Conference, but it is a major conference. And they brought in a basketball tournament. I'm sure some people lodged in Hoover when they were here for that. And God forbid we should lose the SEC baseball tournament, but if something happened, the SEC decided to move, try another venue one year, the Conference USA, their tournament is now getting underway tomorrow in Hattiesburg at Southern Mississippi. Now, I like Southern Mississippi, but I think they'd much rather play that in Hoover. So that's just another possibility. Somehow we could coordinate both tournaments at the same time. That would be really super. But anyway, please give that your consideration. As for details on that, I would just refer you to Representative Jack Williams, because he has really become the expert on that particular effort to try to save UAB football. I wanted to make a little comment this evening, since we had the Hoover schools recognized tonight, that there is just great efforts going on at the Hoover schools. The Board of Education has just been exemplary. We have Dr. Kathy Murphy coming in as our new superintendent, who is really super. I think she's really going to provide tremendous leadership to the Hoover schools and for all of us who are residents of Hoover. There are some challenges. Let me just also say that the elementary teacher of the year, Ms. Wiggins, I believe it is, over at Trace Crossings, is of course a Hoover teacher, and she's the alternate teacher of the year and the elementary school teacher of the year for Alabama. We have we had a student the other day who scored perfect at Hoover High School on the ACT, 36. I won't tell you what I made on the ACT, but in the area of arts and band, the Hoover Band is on the verge of becoming the largest band in Alabama, larger than the Crimson Tide Band. In fact, they're running out of room. And that's where I want to point out that we, quite frankly, are getting to the point we may need another high school. Homewood High School has 1,000 students. Mountain Brook has 1,000 students. Spain Park and Vestavia High Schools both have about 1,700, 1,800 students. And Hoover is approaching 3,000. And on the trajectory it's on now, it's going to be running at 3,300. I really think we need to think about a new high school. I'm going to give out this Initiative for Excellence sheet again, Mr. Light, if you'll pass it out. I gave this out before, but it's just a number of initiatives, construction being one, pre-K being another, and all of these will require additional revenue. How can the City of Hoover provide additional revenue for the schools? that you'll have to answer. I've come before you and asked for revenue enhancement that might be directed toward the schools. And I know a lot of people find that very unpleasant. But on the other hand, we have to think about our children, our schools, what a tremendous job they're doing and what a wise investment it is when we put tax funds into the school system. Someone recently mentioned that perhaps we might consider an additional tax on lodging fees. I'm not familiar with that, but then I'm not an expert on revenue enhancement or raising revenue. But I do hope that the City Council will research and investigate and seek ways that more funding can go to the Hoover schools. Also, I want to point out tonight that, of course, the mayor's point out Freedom Fest is coming. We had the Regions Tradition event here and Southeastern Conference event, and I was trying to think, how can we get some of these folks that come in to come back and spend time in Hoover, make purchases in Hoover, lodge in Hoover, and perhaps we might want to look at considering making a Freedom Fest a month-long event rather than a one-day event with a series of various events in various venues throughout the city. Park and Recreation, the schools, Beautification Board, and other groups in the city might be involved and have their own particular, the library, maybe a forum involved on freedom, the importance of freedom. I'm a government teacher, so that's important to me, where we going from Memorial Day to the July 4th, that we really celebrate freedom as a month-long event and make sure we know how important that is and recognize our military employees and our veterans through that entire month. And also this would be an opportunity to maybe attract some of our visitors who have been coming in here, give them something else that they may want to come back and visit with us some more during the month. And finally, at the board meeting last Monday, City Manager Tony Patelis talked to us about some refinancing, which I think involves the county 1 cent tax. Some people call it the Larry Langford tax. I'm getting the impression that this means this will be extended. While I am for revenue enhancement in the city of Hoover, I really have problems with the county taking our tax money, and I question how much of that actually comes back to Hoover. So I had hoped that that particular tax was going to sunset sooner rather than later. So if there's any effort on their part to extend that tax, I would hope there might be a displeasure expressed by the mayor and the council in that regard. Thank you very much.
I'll be glad to address that. I'll express our great displeasure. The tax is very disproportionately and hurts Hoover, and continuing a sunsetted tax is never in the citizens' best interest. And actually, our schools and the city would be much better off if that tax was defeated tomorrow morning.
So
voting for the legislature.
Right, I was kind of fuzzy on what was involved, but that means they'll postpone the sunsetting, is that right?
Well, they're just going to squander the money.
Yeah. Right, okay, thank you, sir. Thank you, gentlemen.